Space Shuttle, this is Flight Safety. Keep your hands on the handrail or inside the vehicle and remain seated while in motion. You are clear for launch. Have a great flight to Starport 75.
Hey, Glenn.
Hey, Chris, how are you?
I am so excited. I have my Mickey ears on and my Magic Band on and all the money I can find, and I'm heading to the parks because I hear we're done with this and it's all open and good. So, we can get back to doing a regular show.
That's right. That's right. It's that's it. It's all open.
Sweet.
It's that's what we're going to talk about. So
Sweet.
All right. Have a great week. Talk to you next time.
Other than that, in other news, I'm kind of proud of myself.
Okay.
You've seen my home office. It's usually a complete disaster.
I'm not. I'm not going to acknowledge or. I was waiting for the second part of that.
Anybody with one of those podcast apps where it cuts out the silence will not get that joke. That was awesome. Anyway, yes, it's usually a complete disaster because I am not the most organized person. And if I look at like I could spend some time, straightening up or I don't know, doing a podcast with one of my best buds, then I'm probably going to do the podcast. But because I've been working at home more, maybe you've heard a lot of people are doing that now. I have to sit in this filth all day long, so I've been more motivated to do something about it. So I feel good. I've got like my new setup up. I got like my monitors are on mounts. I even have one of the mounts is like drilled into the desk, and I've got like things getting organized, and it feels good. You can just call me Marie Kondo.
Yeah, you sent me a picture after you're done, and I'm
it's not
I'm
done.
pretty jealous.
It's like literally like 8% of that's like one corner of the room.
Right, the very selected part that you focused on to take the picture of. I'm jealous of because it looks great.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to like. Just like if I just do 15 minutes like a day to just like to do this, and I'm hoping like in about a year and a half, then the office will look great. So I have a lot of hobbies, and one of the downsides to having a lot of hobbies is I collect a lot of junk, and I have just so much stuff. But one thing I've learned is I don't know if you know this, but like when I had this epiphany one day, I'm like, is like the secret of life opened up. Because I'm like trying to organize, and I realized, what, if you have less stuff to organize, the organization becomes much easier. Like I realized I was spending most you laugh like you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like most of the time I realized I was spending trying to figure out how to store and organize all the stuff. And I'm like, if I didn't have this stuff, I wouldn't have to spend this time to be looking for exactly the right kind of bins or the shelf or the drawers or whatever. So that's like step one is like, let's just
acknowledge you have a problem.
Well, okay. Step two is, doing what I can to try and get rid of stuff. But I always have this problem. I don't know about you. Like a lot of what I have in here is like tech stuff, like cables and interface cards and like, lots of things like that. And like I try to get rid of stuff because I'm like, when am I haven't needed this for forever. But Glenn, I can't tell you how many times, like as soon as I got rid of this one cable, then like a week later, I'm like, damn it, I need that cable. And I'm like, so then I got to go buy another one. But I think I'm trying to get over that personality part and go, you know what? If I need another cable, I'll just have to go get another cable.
Yeah.
Which is, and just to simplify the life a little bit.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, but, I'm a little proud of myself. Trying to get there, get things cleaned up.
Yep.
So how about you? What's going on with you, Howard? What's the pandemic update? How you doing?
Oh, fine. I work from home permanently, but my wife is working from home, and the kids were at school at home.
Sounds
and
cozy.
They just finished up last week, so everybody is we're all in close quarters, and
he said, gritting his teeth.
my wife was in the room next to me without can't put a door up. So a couple weeks ago, we moved her up to the bedroom and
got her to another floor of the house.
And so she has privacy, and I have privacy. We can take our calls without overhearing what the other's talking about.
There's some subtlety there because you said we moved her upstairs, but it could have been like she went upstairs. Like who who was the movie and who was the mover? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I was the mover.
No bones about it. Okay.
And yeah.
That's great. Well, hey, it's all about finding what works, right? That's
right.
all that matters. Well, cool. Yeah, but school's over for my son as of today, so now we're on vacation mode proper. So whatever. But at least my tech support responsibilities go down a little bit because now I don't have to worry about him being in virtual school.
True.
Day. So anyway, how do we get on that? Oh yeah, pandemic, this virus thing.
Yeah.
So other than that, I don't know. We're gonna get into the heart of this topic.
Well, we will, but before we do that, I'm over here yawning. And
yeah, you look sleepy.
I do, and so I actually found one of your Magic Coke energy drinks.
Magic elixir. And interestingly, I have one here as well.
Do you?
Yeah.
So I found the regular Coke Energy and the regular Cherry Coke Energy. They did have the diet as the zero whatever as well, but I figure I'd try the leaded version first.
only an old guy would use that joke.
I know.
Yeah.
So I'm holding it like Jeff Gordon at the end of her in Victory Lane at the end of her race, right? You like that?
Two back-to-back old guy statements.
Although it'd be Pepsi. But so what do you have? You have the cherry? It looks like?
I do have the cherry. We talked about this before, and I had both the regular and the cherry. I think I vastly prefer the cherry. So I'm very interested in your take on it. But
well, I can go get the. Well, let me stick with the regular Coke.
No, I would definitely say start with the.
Yeah.
You want to start with the simplest one first,
yeah,
and then work from there. Yeah.
Okay.
But I should also, I don't know which came first. No, I think having this made me remember that we typically have some Coke in the house, but almost never buy cherry Coke. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, so we've been on like a whole cherry Coke kick lately. So the energy drink actually made us kind of switch to cherry Coke on the regular stuff. But yeah, it's not. I can't wait to hear your thoughts.
All
so.
right.
All right,
well,
so we're going to organize this. This can opening. Do I have to shake it?
Well, I was going to shake. Yeah, right. To get the guarna all over, right? It's evenly spread.
Never figured out what that was.
I know.
All right.
All right. Here we go.
Oh, you think they'll have these in the parks at some point? That'd be kind of cool.
That'd be awesome.
All right, 3.
Oh,
we didn't really time that, but that's all right.
Sorry.
Okay. Well, I made a mess.
All right. Here. Oh man, I just got a whiff. Oof.
I'm gonna try a little ASMR here.
Okay.
Can you hear that?
I can.
Well, you'll have to boost
I'll
it up
have to,
in the final.
Yeah.
But I'm actually doing a little different today because I forgot to put it in the fridge before the show, so I'm having it over ice, which I've never had. So we'll see how that goes. But all right, let me see your facial expression when you have this. Now yours is cold, right? Out of the fridge.
It was before we started talking 2 hours ago. But yeah.
All right, bottoms up. Chug, chug, chug.
Wow. That is something.
Wow, okay.
You can taste the guarna.
We don't even know what that is. How do you know you can taste
that? Because it doesn't taste natural. Oh my God, this is awful.
Oh no, stop it. It is not awful. Go have an energy drink from some other brand first.
No, I know. Okay. Hold on.
Yeah, let's get this baseline right. Don't compare it to Coke. Compare it to other energy drinks.
Because that's what I'm comparing it to.
No, don't. You can't do that.
Okay. All right. In that light, it is drinkable.
Compared to guzzling gasoline.
Compared to Red Bull.
Experience.
Or, you see, the thing is, I really liked AMP. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, it was okay. It was very Mountain Dew-ish, right?
Yeah, and I liked that, but I can't even find that anymore. But
is that right?
It's not bad. It's definitely the top of the energy drinks.
Yeah. Well, that's why I think you'll like the cherry because the cherry masks the guarna.
And I like cherry Coke.
No, but I was going to say if you like
favorite
cherry Coke,
anyway.
it's I mean, again, it's not you can't compare it to a regular one, but
okay, yeah. The more I have, it's not. I'm getting it. It's okay.
Yeah, I think. Well, you know what? I think I prefer it on ice.
Really?
Yeah. This week in energy drinks.
Yeah, is this going to be our thing now? We
Is that still a thing? Because remember, like everybody was making energy drinks for a while, but it seems like it kind of tapered off a bit. Or is that
actually
still like huge business?
Speaking of Jeff Gordon, I am pointing to it because everybody can see it. But
Sure.
Jeff Gordon made an energy drink
Himself,
Pepsi made
in a vat.
Well, he may have. Pepsi made it for him, but I still have the can of it. It was good. It was like orange flavored.
The Gordonizer? What would they call it?
No, it's just Jeff Gordon. I don't know, like energy drink.
Nobody who listens to this is going to know who Jeff Gordon is.
Yeah, right. I know. Well, we're past the late '90s, but anyway, this is good.
Okay, well, we'll see how it wears on.
Yeah, and it just needs to keep me awake.
Well, yeah. Look, I was hoping, an interesting podcast about a topic that you love would do that, but whatever. If you need artificial stimulants, good.
Oh, I think I may need to break out the vodka or something for this conversation.
Vodka might be good in there. Oh, for this conversation, this will be interesting. So last time we had our very good friend Casey Liss. I'm sure he refers to us in the same manner.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm sure he always says my extremely good friends, Chris and Glenn.
That's right.
Anyway, so Casey was on, and we talked about what we kind of would foresee Disney would do to open, specifically Disney World, right? We kind of focused on that.
Yes.
And now we have some actual news to talk about, right?
We do.
Now, it has nothing to do with the fact that I just don't do my homework, and all to do with the fact that I wanted to intentionally be a blank slate for this conversation. But I only know vaguely what some of the announcements that were made today are. So, and some people might not listen to this until later. So it's not a breaking news podcast, but more of sort of our thoughts about what they're doing, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
All right. So where do we start? What's the rundown? What did they announce today?
So Disney World today submitted their plan for their proposed reopening. So it still needs to go to the Orange County mayor and then the governor for approval. I'm gonna hedge my bet and say that it's pretty much going to be what they're asking for. They're the experts.
For some reason, I picture those kind of meetings of like the Disney execs coming in with their 17 lawyers behind them, and they just slap down the paperwork and they're like, this is what we're going to be doing. And the Orange County people are just like, okie dokie.
Right. What are they going to say that Disney knows what they're doing. Like, it's their joint,
They'd be like, are you guys going to have hand sanitizer? And like, yes, it's right there on page 1. Then that's great. We're good.
Right. Ooh.
No offense to them, but I mean, Disney's a juggernaut, right?
Yes, it is.
Surprised they aren't they just like their own kingdom? Their own kingdom. Like, why that wasn't even intentional. Like, why do they even have to go to Orange County? Like, isn't it just go to the Reedy Creek 6 residents and have them approve it?
Right. I guess it's just a formality. I have no idea because they're just going to do what they want anyway. So.
Yeah, pretty much.
But before we give any dates or any details, just to give some perspective on what we're going to be talking about, Universal announced last week that they will open their theme parks on June 5th.
Wow. And as we record, it's May 27th,
it is
right?
May 27th, yeah. So it's just a couple weeks away. And then Legoland, I think, opens June 1st. Yeah, Legoland opens June 1st. Fun Spot Orlando, already open.
I was going to say Fun Spot probably never closed.
And Gatorland opened as well. So most of the attractions in Central Florida are opening relatively soon.
And also relative to the amount of cash on hand that they have, right?
Well, true.
Yeah. Okay.
So just to get so those were all announced last week, and everybody was waiting for Disney to come out with their reopening plan, and they didn't. They were expecting like last Friday, and they said no, we didn't promise anything. And so they finally presented today, and I'll actually pull up the official announcement from Disney World. July 11th, they are going to reopen the Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom. And then just a couple days later, July 15th, Hollywood Studios and Epcot will open.
So it's yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so it is going to be limited capacity. What they've said informally in the past is for this phase, it's going to be between 20 and 30% of capacity.
That sounds great.
They are they are stopping any ticket sales right now because they're going to require all guests to obtain a reservation for park entry for a specific day.
Yeah, I think we talked about that last time. It's kind of what Shanghai did, right?
Yes, right. That is what Shanghai did.
Yeah.
So that it also includes pass holders as well, annual pass holders.
Yeah, darn it.
And then the Disney Vacation Club resorts and Fort Wilderness will reopen on June 22nd.
Okay.
No other resorts are announced to be reopening.
That's interesting.
At this time.
So I could go stay at the DVC Contemporary, whatever that's called. Bay Lakes? What's that called?
Bay Lake Tower, yeah. BLT.
All right, BLT. Nice. Yeah, we talked about this on the side, just as a side note. Like, we were looking at an aerial shot. Somebody took of that, and, like, it seems so weird they haven't built a second tower yet. That seems like it's such an obvious no-brainer just to balance that out, but whatever. Yeah. So, anyway, if I'm a DVC person, I can go down there, late June, and just stay at the resort? There's no...
Yep.
I can't do anything. I guess I can just...
You can go to Disney Springs.
Well, that's true. Okay. All right. I guess they want to let people use up their points.
Yes, I think that is the driving force behind that.
Yeah.
They're already in a pickle with that, so
okay.
I think
All right, so let me put you on the spot then.
Yeah.
So mid-July, which I want to accurately but humorously portray your position from before, because you started out like 2 months ago being like they're never going to open again. But I think last time recorded, you were more in the September-ish kind of.
Yeah, I said after Labor Day.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So what do you think now that they've said, okay, nuts to that, we're opening in July?
I think, and that's kind of why I wanted to give you a little bit of background with what the other theme parks are doing. I think they're doing the best that they can, knowing that they have to get people back to work, and that there's essentially money sitting there on the table with people having vacations booked with them already. So I think by waiting another month after Universal, they can watch Universal and make sure, see if this is really going to work or not for a couple weeks at least.
It's even over a month, right? It's almost a month and a half.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So they have the benefit of observing, and then, let's see what happens with the virus as well. I'm seeing reports, of vaccines going into testing and everything else. So maybe, I'm not saying the vaccine will be available that quickly, but another 6 weeks might put Disney in a different position. Maybe they can open up capacity a little bit more.
No. I think 25% forever is good.
So I think where we are, how things are reopening, I think they're doing a good job. They're not jumping the gun. They are, and they're doing it very deliberately. They're not opening everything up at once. Yeah, you and I had talked a little bit about theme parks, and I think you and I both thought that they would stagger them a little bit more than just 4 days apart, right?
Right. Yeah. So it's 4 days. So the first set is, and there's obviously reasons for it with for things that we can't see, but Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom first, and then only 4 days later opening up the other two.
Yeah.
And that 4 days, I mean, obviously they've got some plan, and they're like, "Hey, boss, we need an extra 4 days to be able to do all these parks." But that almost seems like not enough time to make a difference. But like, I don't know, it just seems weird. Like I would have expected maybe 2 weeks, but half, 2 parks, one week, and then 2 weeks later the other two. But no, whatever.
I mean, maybe they simply can't ramp it up that quickly with things like food and supplies and
that's what I'm saying. There must be some sort of logistical thing, like they just can't get enough churros for 4 parks, but with 4 more days, I don't know, just 4 more days doesn't seem like that would be substantive, but I guess it is. Whatever happens in those 4 magical days gives them enough time. I don't know. I will say this. I do like that they are opening after the 4th of July holiday. Okay.
Because that's one of their busiest weeks.
True.
And after the Christmas New Year's week, it is their busiest week. So they are pushing it off a little bit to get past some of that demand. Because I think they really are looking to, they don't want people to just flock there.
Yeah,
they do want to tamp it down a little bit and just let so many people in.
And we talked before that they might have started with like locals, right? With annual pass holders or something. But that doesn't sound like they're stipulating that. It's just going to be whoever buys these magical Willy Wonka tickets for the day, right?
Right. Yeah. You need a reservation. So if you get a reservation and you have an annual pass, then you're good. You have a reservation, you need to buy a ticket.
Reservation is separate from the actual purchase of it. Is that what you're saying?
I think so, yes.
Oh, interesting. So we have annual passes, but they're sort of been on hiatus. Mm-hmm. So I wonder how that works in our case. Like we'd have to call them up and say reactivate our pass. This wouldn't be us, but if I wanted to be there day one, have the option for day one, what do I have to do?
Well, so that's the whole thing. The reservation process hasn't been announced yet.
We don't have that.
That's still coming, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay. Yeah. July is both it's a little later than I thought it'd be. I think before I even said, and of course it was early May, and before every day is like new information to judge. But I really thought it would be in June. But good for them. They're having the patience. And you're right. July 4th weekend is huge. Or July 4th holiday is huge. So I'm going to guess that wasn't an accident. They said, let's just push past that.
Right.
And it gives them to your point, gives them the benefit of seeing what kind of happens elsewhere. Yeah. And nothing says they can't change these plans on a dime, right? I mean, if something happens, they can just go, use leak and change that plan, right?
Yeah, absolutely. They could do soft openings and really open it a little bit earlier, or they could, if it gets worse, they could say, okay, no harm, no foul. We're not open now. We don't have to reclose, right? So if let's say God forbid cases spike in late June, and Universal has to close again. Well, Disney can say, oh, okay, hands off. We're good. We don't have to do anything. So. So yeah, I think the timing. I like the timing. I think it's good.
Did you mention? Because I think it was one of the things I read that they'll do some like practice on the cast members first. They'll do some like cast member days, something like that.
Yeah, the cast member previews first. Yes.
Yeah, test on them. They didn't give any details on that though. Even
no, and that's the thing. Pretty much what I read out a few minutes ago is pretty much all we know so far.
But we got a whole show to fill, so start making up some stuff.
So the other part, right, is face masks will be required. Temperatures will be taken before you enter. So all of that sticks. So
how many fights are going to break out over masks? Do you think?
Well, I mean, July 11th at the Magic Kingdom, waiting in lines to get in and all, and you had to, your face mask is on. I just bought some cloth face masks, and they're toasty. I don't know if you know that or not, because I was wearing the paper ones, and they're they're okay. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but the cloth ones are.
What's even better are the N95 ones that like pinch over your nose and like really make a good seal in there.
Oh, Lord.
So it keeps the heat, the humidity in, and also whatever you had for lunch that day, you can just keep experiencing that over and over again. So,
well, have you seen the Icebreakers gum commercial?
No, I haven't.
They're like, oh, everybody's wearing masks now. So before you put one on, pop a icebreaker because face mask breath is real.
Yeah, oh yeah, it is. But the only person you're harming is you. But
right.
But it's intense.
Yeah.
So I have a face mask. So did they give it an age range? Did they say
over 3? 3 and up.
3 and up.
So basically, whoever has to buy a ticket.
So what's going to happen? Because like my 4-year-old, he has his own kind of way about the world, and we tried briefly to put a mask on him, and he was having none of that. So I don't know how they'd enforce that with little ones, but and our guy's not the typical 4-year-old, so he's that age, but he has tantrums more like a younger kid. So I don't know how we'll
go to Mickey jail, I guess.
That's the thing.
I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing at Disney Springs, to enforce it.
I mean, I'm sure it'll be like they'll ask, and they, I don't know. Like, would they kick somebody? Like, let's say they find you in Tomorrowland and you don't have a mask on. Are they gonna? Well,
I think it depends on your
you?
attitude as well. Like, if you're.
Have you been on the Twitter recently? Have you seen?
Right. If you're that Costco guy and you're like,
right.
just then you're out. But if you're like, oh, I'm sorry, it fell off or something, they'll be like, okay, and then just take it off and wait for the next guy to come up to you.
It totally fell off. Yeah. I mean, I say I don't mind, but after hour 3 or 4 or 5 in a theme park, that can't be that comfortable.
No.
This is really, at least for me, it's really coming to a fork in the road, because I'm hitting that point. This almost sounds sad to say, because I've lived here so long, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm a day tripper, right? So I don't get the great fun that all you people get of like vacation and deep immersion. But what I do get is a lot more periodic visits. And the other day, I don't know what I was doing. It was something unrelated to anything. And all of a sudden, I got a flash of like Epcot, and I went, oh man, I miss Epcot. And I'm like, must be what people feel like that live far, far away.
It is.
And then I felt bad about myself for thinking that. But my point is, I'm hitting that point where I'm because for a long time I'm like, I'll wait as long as whatever take. I'm in no rush. But now I'm kind of getting that itch to like, man, I haven't been there a long time. But I don't know if I'd want to deal with masks and stuff. So I'm sure let me ask you, you would, in your current situation, you would be a traveler, length of stay guest.
Yeah.
I'm assuming your position would be, there's no way you're going to bother with that right now. Like, let's say just a pile of money fell on you and you're like, great, now I can go to Disney.
Well, wait a second. Where's this money? Wait.
Well, is that it?
Look, everybody has a price. I mean, if I get a free trip to Disney, I'll wear a face mask, a diaper, whatever. I don't care. Jesus. But no. So yes, if I'm going
would you
to
go? Like if your family came to you and said, honey, daddy, we really want to go to Disney World, and you're like, well, we could afford it. Would you go? Would you go in, let's say, August before school started?
No. I definitely no. If anything, I just don't. And maybe it's just me. I just don't have any desire to deal with any of. I'm looking on Twitter and other places, right? People making the argument against the face mask because they simply don't want to wear face masks. And, they keep saying, oh, it ruins the magic and all this other stuff. And
that of all the excuses somebody could come up with of why not to.
I mean, I'm not saying they're right, but the thing is, it is going to be different. You're going to go to a place where
it adds an extra level of effort, discomfort.
Well, it's not even just
another
that.
thing to deal with, right?
Everybody. Everybody's wearing a mask. They're going to enforce social distancing in the lines, and I think they're going to be pretty much getting away from having standby lines to where everybody's going to have some sort of
virtual
fast
queues,
pass.
right?
Yeah, virtual queues, whatever. No parades, no fireworks.
Yeah, that's a
no character meet and greets.
yeah.
You're taking away a lot of stuff, and I just don't see from where I sit. For me to leave my house in New Orleans and travel there and get a hotel and go through all of this, no, I'm gonna wait. I'm not saying I'm never going to go back, but I would definitely wait until early next year at the earliest.
All right. So let's continue that forward. Let's say you finally got some sense about you, and you said, "You know what? I'm moving back to Orlando because I want to live there." So
Okay.
you move back here finally, and you're like in my situation, and you're like, you could go. It's Friday afternoon, and you're like, let me just check, and lo and behold, they have enough reservations for Saturday for you and your crew. Again, we're in August, so let's say we're a few weeks past the rough edge starting point. What do? Do you grab your masks and magic bands and head out, or what do you do?
In a heartbeat.
Oh, really?
Of course I'd be there.
Okay. All right. So it's not for you. It's not about whether you'd feel it's safe enough or just like a single day hassle of dealing with that extra stuff. It'd just be as a family vacation from out of state. It wouldn't have the payoff. Make that work.
Right.
Like
I'm spending money and time to get there, to stay there, and to go into the parks. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So all of that is of value. And if I'm living in Orlando and my normal trip to Disney is on the weekend just to go out and walk around and, like we used to do. And
the good old days.
And I had annual passes that I'm already paying for. And, absolutely I would give it a try and go out. It's worth, because
honestly,
for me, it'd be worth the hassle.
Because honestly, that's the camp I'm in, but I thought you were going to yell at me. So
no, not at all.
I was afraid to. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. You and I have different perspectives.
Sure.
I mean, and so.
That's what makes this show so great.
That's right. I was already talking about not going back to Disney until 2022.
Yeah, you're a
simply
hater.
because of all the construction, right? And had this never happened, all the construction was, scheduled to be completed by October 1st, 2021, and so I was gonna, early 2022. That was gonna be let's take a big blowout trip down there and have a grand old time, because even right now, I mean, Epcot is a shell of itself right now, and Spaceship Earth is now closed for 2 years.
Oh,
so
is it? I missed it.
Yeah, yesterday was the day. The 25th was the last day.
Well, they can't do that. They got to extend. No, they have to extend the closing.
No, the Parks blog even put out said, "Oh, today's the last day."
How can they do that? It's not been open.
Down.
That doesn't count. They got to give it back those 2 months.
No, people. That's what everybody's saying. But Disney's like,
because I was going to go one more time before.
Yeah.
Holy cow! So that's it.
So Epcot, you're taking that down, and then buildings are gone, and so much is even closed. So it's like right. That's really not a,
unless you're just
it's just a waste of money, right?
A World Showcase fan or something.
Yeah, and I love World Show. I mean, look, I would go in a heartbeat, but
Future World's a mess. And I'm going to be overly dramatic about this just for entertainment, but and I know it's very serious. I don't mean to make light of anything, but if I'm going to be humorous about it, I'm going to say, I think one of the biggest tragedies of this whole pandemic is the fact that the Epcot transformation that you and I have been talking about for so long, that at least I don't want to put words in your mouth, that I was looking forward to, that I think they had so many great ideas. I think it was on the right track, that I think all of that's just going to be diluted down to whatever the bare minimum is that they can just kind of wrap up and do. And that's a little heartbreaking.
Well, so I know I've already gone down the rabbit hole of Spaceship Earth, but it was supposed to be down for like a couple years so that they could completely redo it.
Right.
But now they're talking about, it'll probably be down for just like 6 months because they'll just
gonna dust it.
redo
We're gonna get
redo
Swiffer.
the ending and put some new narration in it,
Yeah.
and then we'll send it on its way. We'll open it back up, and it's like, okay, So I think Epcot, they'll finish Guardians of the Galaxy, and then they'll build that, since they already tore down half of that Communicore building,
The festival center thing.
Illuminations or an Avengers building, whatever they call it.
Right.
Yeah, they'll build that festival center because that's going to be, they're going to charge
that's a
for that.
moneymaker. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they'll build that, and that'll be it. And then they'll just
I agree with
reopen
you.
everything.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. Which is going to be sad. I mean,
yes, it's gonna
it
be
had a
sad.
really nice. I don't know. Hopefully something else happens and they push it forward, but who knows? Yeah. All right. So I feel like I pulled us astray. Sorry, as I usually do. So all right. So we talked about when they're going to reopen. So in July.
July, yeah.
They're going to do 2 parks, then 2 parks, but essentially, for all intents and purposes, they're opening the 4 within the same week.
Yeah.
What else do we know? They're gonna have reservations. You said. They're not doing parades, not doing fireworks, which
Correct.
I don't parades, but that's I understand why they're doing, but that is a little sad.
Yeah.
Masks for 3 and overs. Now we saw with Shanghai and others that there was like a big elaborate. Oh, you also mentioned temperature checks coming in.
Yes.
They had kind of a big elaborate. I don't know. It seemed like they had more. Maybe it's just Disney World hasn't kind of gone through to announce all that stuff yet. But it seemed like they had more. They had more stuff. Like they had hand sanitizing centers and
And they're going to
and
have that at
spacing things and all that. So I guess we'll see more of that as it comes. Yeah.
So in Shanghai, there were 2 things that I noticed that are different. One is at Shanghai, you have to show it's local visitors only. So they all have their contact tracing app
Right.
given to them by the government. So they all have to
That's not
show
gonna fly
it
here. Yeah.
show it and prove that they are, it shows green. I think
Right.
it's
That they haven't
right?
been within some risky contact lineage. Yeah.
Right. So that won't exist. And then the other thing is that they actually said this in the video for Shanghai, is that in the merchandise shops, don't touch anything unless you're going to buy it.
Yeah, but that was just kind of friendly guidance. That wasn't a mandate, was it?
I don't know. I
Well,
think it's a mandate.
The good thing is that kids just naturally behave that way anyway. So
Right,
you just say
right.
don't. Huh. Okay. Yeah. Well, I guess it'll be fixed with the capacity. I'm thinking like Emporium. That place is always so jammed. But I guess
we're
with fewer
thinking
people.
right. We're thinking a normal day, right?
No. And see, that's
you
part
can't.
of the reason why not only do I want to go back, but I kind of want to take advantage of, a Magic Kingdom with only 25% capacity. I think that would be nice.
Okay, but the wait times are going to be
I don't care.
longer.
Yeah, but it's not about the wait time. It's about because I'm a weirdo in that I really enjoy the park part of theme parks. I just enjoy being in the environment and if I can do that with a lot fewer people nearby, then it's still and I'm paying for it anyway with annual passes that I presume they're going to be charging me for soon. So I don't know, just from a purely a literal park kind of standpoint to go kind of meander around.
Like I said, you asked that question, I would definitely be back.
Okay, well, come on down and just pretend. Okay.
I'm from Louisiana. I can't because
Why?
Florida's kick is locking me out.
Not still. That's
I have
not
to
a
go
thing.
14-day
Stop
quarantine,
it.
man.
No. Is that still a thing?
It's still a thing.
Is it really?
Yeah, I can't
I think they're
rent
just
a house or anything.
Yeah, I think this is just an excuse. And it might just be you. I don't know.
It might be.
All right. So, but we haven't heard anything else about because we've talked about ride sanitization, right? So like whether they can have people in which rides might be open, which rides might be closed. We don't have any details on any of that yet, right?
We don't have any details. I don't think there's going to be any limit on that. I think, but I think they will be. Oh, so I don't think I think everything will be open, but the loading of the rides will be different.
Yeah.
So they'll be skipping rows. They'll be cleaning everything after people unload. So that's why I said it's still going to take
So on Space Mountain, are they still going to, have me laying back in somebody else's lap to ride that ride? Probably not.
Probably
right?
not.
Yeah.
Probably 3 people in that whole train.
Right. Wow. And as much as I love the monorail, like if you think of all the things that would be like a virus factory, like
my God.
those, like I wonder if they're not going to run the monorail or something.
That's a great man. If only they had the Skyliner going to the Magic Kingdom.
Well, you joke, but
No, I'm not. I admitted it. Look, Skyliner's the way of the future. It's
you say that with such.
they need to expand that baby.
Yeah, well, they should. Not to get rid of the monorail, but I mean, don't you agree, or do you disagree? Like those cabins in a monorail. It's like if I think of all the places in Disney World where I'd be concerned and think about like you're breathing in somebody else's air from pretty close to you at that point, right? So.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But I guess Skyliners, you're saying because they're kind of they can keep that to kind of single family unit kind of things. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still haven't been on that. Okay. So no character.
We still haven't gone through a summer with the Skyliner though. Let's not forget that.
What is
with
that
the
threat?
non-air-conditioned
That's like a threat.
Skyliner.
What does that mean?
All right?
because the air conditioning. Okay.
Yeah, let's not forget that little bit of information. That nugget. This is the first summer of it.
I'm more concerned about the summer storms. Like, how does that work? Like, because
that's
how
a
they
great
pop
question.
up pretty fast, right?
I know. Look, we're getting back into that. Let's anyway.
Oh, did we? Okay, sorry. Back at Skyliner Weekly.
Yeah, because I mean, my position's never going to change.
I didn't know it softened a bit.
Because I've been on it. Now I understand.
Okay,
and I still.
Never mind. All right, so let's talk about something less divisive, like a.
But you're right. Getting to the
pandemic.
Magic Kingdom is going to be a challenge, whether you do the
just run the
ferry
boats.
boat or the monorail.
But you can spread out more, especially if you got limited capacity. You can. The monorail forces you to be next to each other, right? You can spread out on the ferry.
Unless they force everybody to sit in a seat.
Oh, no standing.
Right? No standing.
Yeah, I mean they could really spread it out and have only family members or groups per cab, I guess.
Yeah.
Again, it the dynamics change with such low capacity, but even 25% is not nobody.
It's not nothing, exactly. I mean, I think the capacity for the Magic Kingdom is what, like 80. Did they say 80,000 or is that Shanghai?
That sounds too high to me, but I don't know.
Or I mean,
why am I thinking it's more like 50,000? Why am I thinking? It's
all
more
right.
like
Well, I actually have to break out the calculator.
No, nobody wants to hear you typing out numbers. Whatever it is, it's a number that we can't really imagine.
12,500. So I mean, you have 13,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's more than was there for the night that we went for the after hours thing.
Yeah, but that was so empty. Like there was almost nobody.
I know,
there.
but 13,000 people isn't anything to. You're not going to have the run of the park. I mean, they're going to be.
Yeah, but you know what? You know what it's going to feel like? It's going to like if you look at the old video of the Disney parks, like to and that we're obviously taking in the off season when there was an off season, where there's like lots of space to kind of mosey around, and you see if you look down Main Street, maybe you're seeing 50 people on the street, whatever. It's probably going to be that kind of vibe, right? I would guess.
Sure.
Yeah. That's what I want that. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll go. I guess no monorail, but I would go. I wish they would.
Pictures.
Am I the only one? Yeah. Well, look at all the masked people. I was going to say, am I the? I love the Magic Kingdom, but boy, do I hate going to the Magic Kingdom. Am I the only one who has this problem?
You are not.
Oh, really? Okay, because I feel like everybody else loves it. Oh, Walt's dream to slowly leave the real world behind. I'm just like, just let me to the It takes an hour just to get in the darn thing.
Yep, and to get out.
Yeah, right. And now I have bag checks and temperature checks and
Yep.
IQ tests. You get those, right? Maybe that's just
Oh
me.
my God, could we do that, please?
I don't know.
would be the
I might not
greatest thing.
be let in anymore. Maybe that's.
Oh man.
All right. So, is that it of everything that announced? Did we cover it?
I think so.
Are there any other shoes to drop? I guess we'll get more details on exactly how like the reservation system will work and stuff.
Yeah. So there's going to be a lot coming out, Disney Springs, the Disney stores and restaurants open today, and honestly, because of this news, I haven't really seen how many people were out there. I'm sure all the influencers and they were all out there, but
I saw somebody cooking hot dogs on one of the tables in
that
some
was
picture.
the greatest. Oh my goodness!
Did you see? Oh yeah, I think you sent me that photo. So
I think so.
It was like a family that had like a sterno can, right?
Yeah.
And on some sort of portable grill, and they had it on. It looked like at least it was a metal table. It looked like some metal table. So from a fire hazard standpoint, it seemed like they thought that through.
Yeah.
Do you know what store they were in front of? Or like
They were in front of the what is it? The Cooks of Dublin or
the Irish pub?
the Irish pub? Yeah,
Yeah, okay, that's all I refer to it as.
right by
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so the photo was like of a cast member, I guess, going, guys, you can't be cooking hot dogs out here.
Like-
and the look on the woman's face was like, what's the problem? Like, like I could see like trying to get away with it and go like, okay, we got caught, but like the facial expression was like clearly like, why is this a problem? What's the big what's the big deal?
Right.
People
I do
amaze
this
me.
in the park. Like
Yeah, what you're gonna
Like
be
in-
like outside I don't know, Casey's and just go cook your own hot dogs? Like who does that?
it's crazy. That was one of the craziest things I've seen so far.
Oh, people are nuts, man.
And you can't see the cast member's face, but he's like, he just has the body language like, are you kidding me?
Right. Having to explain why this is a problem.
Right.
You have an open flame. But on the other hand, if I stretch it out, I'd be like, well, it's not. I mean, it's not like a barbecue pit. It's a sterno can, right? It wasn't, It's just like lighting a candle. It's no big deal.
It is right. Well,
There's nobody else
yeah.
around. It's really empty out there. So what's the problem?
That's true. Well, and she also, because some of the other pictures in that tweet,
Yeah.
she had like 10 kids to feed.
Oh yeah. I mean, kids
Like
get
there was a
cranky.
legitimate. I can understand why she's trying to save some
Yeah.
money, but Chris, hold on.
Don't
Let's not
tell
forget.
me.
Back up. She went to Disney Springs,
Uh-huh.
where the only thing that's open are the restaurants.
Oh, that's true.
Like,
Is-
why
is
else
that
are
the
you
only thing that's
going to
open?
Disney Springs?
I know Disney's stores were not open, but were other
No.
other
Well, yeah,
shopping
okay. So if they want to go to the, whatever. The,
Uniqlo, whatever that is.
yeah,
Uniqlo-
I mean,
clothing
maybe
store.
they're there to shop there. I don't know. But, I mean, that's all that's open.
That is true, because I was thinking like, well, it's a ghost town and they can't scavenge up any food, so they had to cook their own. But no, there's plenty of food out there. Right?
That's the only reason to go there is to go to Chicken Guy.
chicken guy. You know what? I might actually be able to get in there now.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. I am hitting that point that I need some Disney fix. I haven't.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
I have to admit, I mean, my daughter the other day, we were looking at pictures and she saw one of us at Disney or something. She's like, I'm getting I'm getting the hankering to go back. Like I
Hankering. Did she
would
say-
really like to go to Disney.
Did she say hankering?
She didn't, but I thought it was funny.
Hankering. The Beverly Hillbillies over there. She was out in the cement pond. She's like, Daddy, I got a hankering to go see the Disney.
So she had a hankering for a hunk of cheese. There's
What is that
another
from?
old guy.
That's from, what is that?
That was the old cheese commercial. Remember, he was the little cheese cowboy.
Oh my God, that's ancient, Glenn.
He had the cane, and he'd pick up the
All right.
cheese wedge. I had
you-
to find that.
I was going to say, if you
Put it in
don't
the show notes.
insert, no. If you don't insert the
No.
audio from whatever that is right now, then I will have no respect for you.
When my get up and go has got up and went, I hanker for a hunk of cheese. When I'm dancing, I hold down and my boots kind of slow down, or anytime I'm weak in the knees. I hanker for a hunk of, a slab or slice a chunk of, a snicker is a winner, and yet won't spoil my dinner. I hanker for a hunk of cheese. Yahoo!
So that's got to be hankering for a hunk of cheese. Oh my God, I haven't heard that forever. It must be kind of the same era because for some reason now I'm thinking of the Chuck Wagon commercials.
Oh
Must be
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like the same time frame. Remember those?
Of course.
That was some heavy duty special effects back then. How do we get on that? I don't know.
I have no idea. Anyway, but even Megan was like, oh, because her whole focus right now is going to New York. She got a little taste of it in February, and she loves New York. She wants to go back. But so to hear her say she wanted to go back to Disney, it kind of floored me. I'm like, oh wow, that means that
That's serious.
yeah. So
It's kind of like when I look around and say, boy, it's kind of a mess in here. Like if I know it, like if I can recognize it, it's like really, really a serious thing.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
but
So she liked New York, huh? Yeah, it kind of gets in the
yeah.
blood. Yeah,
yeah.
so to speak. Cool.
On YouTube, we're watching. They have all kind of New York videos and stuff, and because people right now, actually, it's pretty cool because right now people are going through Times Square and everywhere and recording it with nobody around,
Right.
and so it's like, oh, we were there, and
Yep.
and so anyway, but yeah, she loves New York.
Well, yeah. What's not to love?
Yeah, it's a great place.
Yeah, she might want to move there someday.
Oh, she's yes. She has made that comment many times, and so we also watch videos of. We watched a video of a young woman apartment hunting and
It's
going
amazing
through
what
the
kind of
touring apartments
You
and
can get for $2,000 a month.
talking about the cost and that you have to
Spacious
have
is the word that comes to mind.
$80,000 in salary just to qualify to put in an offer.
Yep.
And so that I think that opened her eyes a little bit to the realities.
Yeah, and that's always. I mean, I hit a point where I was like, I'm kind of too old to want to live in Manhattan now. But when I was younger, the problem I had was I wanted to live there when I was younger, but I had friends that lived there when they were like fresh out of school, and they were like didn't have any money. And I'm like, man, this looks hard. Like this looks like really difficult to try and get by. It wasn't. It's kind of like your thing about going to Disney World right now. It just didn't seem, the payoff didn't seem worth the price.
Right.
And but then by the time it would have been feasible at that point, you're like, yeah, I like being in a house, and I kind of passed that chasm of wanting to go. Yeah. But I love to visit. Great fun. Well, good. Well, you got nobody to blame but yourself for letting her go there. So.
Oh, I know. I know.
Is there still a Disney store there? Is that still a thing?
Yeah, man. We went in.
Is that still? Didn't they sell all those off to something?
Yeah.
They're not really Disney stores anymore, right? They're just Disney licensed or something.
No. Okay, so here we go. All right, at least it's Disney related. So
Well, I'm trying to bring it.
about
I'm trying to bring it back. Go ahead.
So the Disney stores originally, yes, they were owned and operated by Disney, and back in I guess the early 2000s or so, that whole line was performing poorly because the merchandise they weren't.
It turned into a princess store, if I remember right. It just all the princess merchandise.
It was all It just they didn't have great merchandise, and so they sold it to the children's. Oh my God! I can't believe I'm blanking on this.
Television Workshop.
No, the children. Oh, now I'm gonna have to look it up. I thought I could.
Insert the Glenn is Googling something music.
Oh, I need some music like that.
Sorry, I'll just play a little Animal Crossing while you're
There you go. Children's Place.
Well, why would you remember that? It's generic nonsense.
Yeah. Okay. So Disney sold it to since I have it up, from 2004 to 2008, they were owned by the Children's Place. So they were just licensed at that point. And then the Children's Place, like, they went bankrupt, and Disney was like, "Oh, okay, we'll buy them back." and that's when they started taking off again because they put merchandise under the parks, and so they started getting better merchandise, and they redid the stores and made them more into a theme park light experience and stuff. So they started doing better. But in New York, they had, when Disney owned it, originally, they had a store on Fifth Avenue.
Yeah, I remember that one.
And so when all this happened, they closed the one on Fifth Avenue. And then I don't think they had a Disney store for a while, but then they opened the one. Now it's in Times Square. And it's right there. It's on by 46th Street and Broadway.
Yeah, actually, I don't know if I've been to that one. I remember the Fifth Avenue one. Went to that.
Yeah, I think this one's just a few years. Well, a few years, who knows? But if you ever watch the New Year's Eve ball drop, you'll see it's right there.
Yeah, I've seen it on video and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
But you know what? I think in that period that you mentioned, the 2004 2008, it got so bad because I remember them before in the mid to late 90s. We used to go to ours in Princeton area. Just to get a taste of Disney World because they would still have a lot of the same, much smaller, of course, but a lot of the same like collectible merchandise. I think about like a Walt Disney watch or something there that was like kind of the same stuff they sold in the parks. But then it just seemed like everything just went to garbage. It was just stuffed animals and princess dresses, and that must have been when the that children's place owned it, I guess. But then I just stopped paying any attention to it because I figured, well, that's done. But I didn't realize they went back and picked it up for a song.
Yeah,
good for
yeah,
them.
they did. So they're all the Disney stores are Disney owned and operated now.
Okay, well, good to know.
So you
Didn't
can
expect to
feel good
talk
about
about
going back in.
if I could ever find a mall that actually had one. They have far fewer of those. They used to have one of those in every mall, but
Yeah,
far fewer of those now. I guess.
Well, it's funny. They got when Disney owned it through 2001. They hit their high mark and they had 700 stores. And then in 2004, when the Children's Place took it over, they closed about 400, and they had 313. And then when Disney bought them back, it looks like 2013, or no, 2009, they still had about 350. But now they have 680 stores, so they're getting back up there.
Okay, that's surprising.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, unrelated to that, I'm just thinking because once we wrap this up, I'm gonna keep reloading the DisneyWorld.com page to see when reservations open up. But you know what I had thought of is like, and not everybody would appreciate this, but remember we did that special ticket night thing, so we could go there and take pictures with fewer people there. Yep. This is a great opportunity to do that because if you're not there to take pictures of people, so you're not worrying about the mask look and everything. If you want to go photograph Disney World, this is actually a great opportunity because then far fewer people there, and obviously as it got later in the day, it'd probably be even fewer then, and no fireworks to kind of have a bunch of people out, and a great opportunity.
I agree. I agree. You're right. I mean, they're not going to all be there at one time. People come and go, and as it gets later, now they'll probably have adjusted hours for the parks, and they'll probably close at 7-8 p.m.
Yeah, but still, just from a photography standpoint, that might be interesting to do.
If you can get dusk and some night, that would be nice.
I might think about this now.
I know.
Well, we'll try it once.
I think you need an assistant.
No, you said you want to go, so forget it. I'll take my son. All right, cool. Well, I guess for there not being much to talk about, we almost got it to an hour.
That's right. I will say, we all put in our guesses, you, Casey, and I, and somehow, some way, Casey won.
Yeah. Well, he's Casey.
I mean, it's awesome, right? I was way too late, and you were a little bit early, and Casey split the middle, and he got it.
Okay, well, I guess he wins something. I don't know what that is, but
I don't know.
Okay, well, he has to win something. All right, man. Is that it?
That's it.
Okay. Well, I guess maybe the next time we chat, we'll have a few more details about reservations and stuff. I bet they're going to be hard to get. I bet there's going to be there'll be a stampede.
Yeah. That'll be the next thing to see, right? What is the demand? Who is really going to go?
And I know you and I differ on this. I think it's much higher than you realize.
What's that?
The demand.
No, but no. There's a difference between demand and
supply. Oh, I know.
No, there's a difference between demand and reality.
Wait, what? No, what? Wait, what? Explain yourself.
People who own DVC have a vested interest in going, right?
Okay.
They
Yeah,
have
they're going to lose their
they have
points.
to spend their point, right? Okay. But for the average Joe, I mean, Disney's not cheap, and to go and get a hotel there and buy tickets and everything else, you're talking thousands of dollars, and then you have to get there too.
Well, hang on. No, you're not. No, you're not.
Sure.
No, you're not.
What do you mean? No, you're not.
No, if you're talking about that, but you're discounting or ignoring the tens of millions of people that live within driving distance of just popping down for a weekend or a long weekend. They don't have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars. How many annual pass holders there are? Are you okay over there? You look like you're having some troubles. You okay?
Yeah, I'm rolling over my cord.
Okay. I mean, there are lots and lots of people where it's not it's a high bar for you to come from out of state. But if you think about everybody from Atlanta to Miami to even New Orleans,
But I'm
just
in that
want to. I know.
yeah.
Did you hear what I just said? I included
Okay.
you. But people that would and you used to do this, would come down, like, let's just go down for a couple of days, right? Like there's lots in that radius. There's lots and lots of people that would do that. And I think, and I understand what you're saying about, the value of it and the cost of it, but you also have to counterweight that with everybody is so tired of being inside and not doing things, and they want to do stuff. And maybe they had a much bigger summer vacation plan that they now can't do. And I think the demand is going to be on the higher side because people they just really want to go do something. And I think that might be seen as, especially if you're within driving distance and you can just do like a day or two commitment. It doesn't have to be a week-long thing. I think it's going to, there's going to be a lot of people that want to do that. I think we have no way to judge this, but
It's still, I mean, people are going to pay a premium for subpar.
But you don't know that. They haven't said what pricing is yet.
The pricing's going to be the same.
You think so?
Absolutely.
They won't have special pandemic pricing?
No, Universal's not.
Oh, I didn't realize that. But see, here's your problem.
And they're talking about
But here's your problem.
opening the deluxe hotels first.
Yeah, here's your problem. You know what your problem is?
What's that?
You think logically, and you think other people think logically. That people don't make decisions based with their brains. They make decisions based on their emotions. And they'll be like, the only emotional equation will be, I'm sick of being stuck in the same place. We haven't been able to do anything. We can't do the week that we were going to do, because of whatever reason now. But, we really want to go, and sure, it's going to cost $1,000 and it's going to be, half of what it would normally be, but I don't care because I just need to do it. And that's what it'll be, but you have infinite logic and infinite patience, like you're some sort of like Vulcan or something. But nobody's like that, man. Everybody just it's just emotions. People just go with their emotions.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think you're overestimating people's willingness to get out and to commit to something like that.
Can I point you to some tweets that I saw over the Memorial Day weekend of people stewing in giant vats of other people's, bodily fluids, so to speak? People just want to just go and do stuff.
But there are a lot, but they're not taking people's temperature at the beach. They're not requiring face masks at the beach.
Yeah.
They're not, it's a low barrier to entry.
I think people will discount all
Disney
that.
Disney Springs is open, and they have not had anywhere near the amount of people there that anybody planned for.
Well, but yeah, I agree with that. But
so that's why I'm curious to see what happened today, to see if the Disney-owned stuff opening up made any change to that. But Disney's like, we expected more people, and they did not.
But it's still May. Right, we're talking July.
It's Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, I know, but so nobody's traveling, nobody's flying anywhere and doing that, right? So, you still again.
But no. But you're talking about locals and others within a driving distance to go experience something Disney.
Yeah,
I mean, that's an opportunity. So if something's open, Disney.
I still let me. I'm going to recuse myself from this because I don't even understand who goes to Disney Springs. No, I'm not even trying to be funny.
Have you been there? It's packed every time I go, man.
I didn't say I don't understand. I totally agree. I don't disagree that there are a lot of people there. I don't know who they are. Long ago, Disney Springs, downtown Disney,
Yeah.
was mostly. Excuse me.
The shopping village.
Well, if you're gonna go way back, okay. It was, at least in my experience, and just from my memory, it was people that, okay, it's Saturday, our flight's not till 7 p.m. We're not buying tickets for Saturday because we're not going to spend hundreds of dollars for just a few hours, but let's go soak up some more Disney experience and get some time in there, right? So, or, hey, let's just go, we're tired of the parks midway through our trip. Let's go out to downtown Disney and go shop at the World of Disney and, pick up some souvenirs. It was sort of that, extra add-on, sprinkle on top kind of thing. I don't know who goes now, but it's packed, but I don't know who, I don't know what the characteristic of those people are.
So Disney Springs now, the way they built it, Disney Springs, it's to attract locals, right? It's their answer to City Walk and everything else. And so they're trying to bring in more locals. I agree. That's what it used to be is tourists and, going for that extra day or what, the half day or whatever. Cause I was one of those people.
Yeah.
I mean,
it
was always a stop on our trip.
Mm-hmm.
And, but now they've opened it up and it is, they had to build an extra, parking garage across the street because there were so many people.
Yep.
So it's packed all the time when I go. In fact, I hate going there at night or the evenings and night because it is so packed you can't even move.
Wow.
That's why I like going. The last couple times we've gone pretty much when it opened in the morning.
Yeah.
Because it's so nice. You can walk around. There's not a lot of people. Yeah. Just walk through the stores and, have lunch there or whatever. But, oh, my goodness. I mean, going there at night is crazy.
Yeah, I don't think I've been there at night since they redid it. But even just going like in the afternoon on a weekend, it's just way too crowded.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think that's just a different dynamic. I can't judge who goes there. But just if I pretend that didn't exist and just looking at the theme parks, I just, I don't know, maybe just because we see it with like Facebook posts from friends and family, they're just like, oh my God, we can't wait. Like, it just seems like there's people just champing at the bit to get going and go back. Because, people love it there and people will put up with a lot of crap just to be able to go. So
that's a lot of crap.
Is it? I mean, they're doing it anyway. they're like, you're going to the store, you're wearing, I'm like, I think people are getting used to it. Like even me, last time I went to the store, I go like once a week. Mm-hmm. And it kind of crossed that line from being like this weird new thing I have to do to just be, well, I'm at the Publix, so I, put on my mask and go in. Like it hit a newer level of normalcy that, I don't know. Yeah. I don't disagree with it all that it is definitely a weirdified and diluted experience for the same amount of money. But again, I think most people make decisions with their emotions, not with logic. And maybe after they do it, then they go, we're not doing that again. But I just think there's going to be a lot of people that just like really want to get, and people with kids that be like, what do we do with these kids? It's summertime now and everybody's already been home for 2 months. And so like, I don't know. I just think there's those are the kind of drivers I think that are going to kind of push people towards it.
Yeah. But you also have about 20% unemployment now. And I mean, people who were going to go can't go. They don't have jobs. They're going to be looking for jobs. And I mean, there's a whole other dynamic that is part of this is people's finances have changed from when they were going, and, and I'm not going to, I think, your friends on Facebook and mine are a little bit, more whatever, middle class, can afford that. So
yeah, most of them have jobs that they've been able to do remotely and still kind of stay employed. So.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is the population of posts and stuff that you're seeing are not representative of the general American landscape. So, because I'm seeing the same. You're right. I mean, I'm seeing the same, and people are upset because their trips that they had planned are canceled, and they're upset, and I'm like, why would you even go? Like, even if it was,
and no doubt about that. There's no way I would go for like an out of state, fly down and say, like, that just seems to me that just seems like crazy. But for a day tripper, like you said, if you live down, look at what you just said earlier in the show 6 hours ago. You said, if you lived here when it opened up, you'd want to go. And so there are millions and millions and millions of people just like you and me that are like,
Well-
well, I want to go on a Saturday afternoon just to get out of the house and go do something.
But no, hold on. What we talked about was if I'm living in Orlando and I'm Glenn, I'm me.
Yeah.
I have annual passes for everybody in my family. Then yeah, I would go.
What
Sure,
do you think? You think
I'm
we're the
already-
only 2 annual pass holders in the whole world? I mean, there's
but
lots
it's
and
not
lots
enough to affect. I mean, it's not that many. It's it's 10 to 15% of all visitors to Disney.
No.
So I mean, it's not even up to that 25%.
I don't
even
know.
if you had
Every
all
time
the
I go
pass
to
holders there.
every time I go to some pass holder event, there's like I was going to use profanity, a large amount of people there that I'm like, who are all these people with their annual passes? So I don't know. It just
Yeah,
seems
but that's
like there
in
was a lot.
one park, in
I
one
hear you.
going there.
But again, we're talking about a 25% capacity cap. So I mean, there's no way to gauge this. But I don't think I guess what I would be interested to see is how difficult it will be to get those reservations. That's what I would look at. Like if they, whatever their process is, if they open them up a week beforehand, are they going to be gone? Are they going to be like fast passes and they're gone by noon that day, or are you going to be able to pick one up the day before you go? Like that's what I'm curious to see.
I mean, Shanghai, they have them still available same day,
Yeah. Okay. Well, that'll be very interesting to see that kind of damage.
and they're limiting it to 20%.
Right.
So the demand's not high in Shanghai, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm not discounting it, but I mean, it's a completely different culture, different place, whatever. So I mean, I don't know.
So that'll be the next thing we have to watch and see and discuss is what is the demand? What is it going to look like?
Right.
I'm very interested because.
Don't get me wrong. I'm hoping it's low for lots of reasons, even just from a social distancing standpoint. I'm hoping it's low. Just selfishly, I'm hoping I can just decide on Friday, hey, you know what? Let's go out in the afternoon tomorrow just to go do something.
I mean, there are projections that airports won't see the travel, the volume of travel that we had, earlier this year until 3 or 4 years from now.
Oh, I completely agree with that. I completely agree with that for lots of reasons, but I completely agree with that.
I think people, as they venture out, and like I said, we have different perspectives, but going to a different state on a vacation, I think that's going to be tamped down a little bit. I don't think people are going to be rushing to go other places, especially, I don't know how, but Louisiana actually has done a pretty good job of. We're usually worse in everything, obviously.
Go Louisiana!
But we're actually doing really well.
Yeah.
And we've flattened the curve. We are New Orleans and Jefferson Parish, where I live. We're down to 0 deaths. I get texts every day, and in the last few days, 0 deaths, and within the tens of new cases, so we're on the definite downslope where, Alabama and Georgia are ramping up now, because we didn't go to phase 1 until mid-May, where they opened up in late April. So, we're seeing that this thing's still spreading, but here in New Orleans, in Louisiana, it's not. Because we have stayed at home. We stayed at home longer than others, and so I don't think any, people in Louisiana are really going to be venturing out to these other states that quickly. And timeline wise, I'm talking, now between now and July, right? I'm not talking about 3 months from now. I'm talking about just short term. I think people are going to be a little bit more hesitant to really get out and travel. I think they're going to, even though things are opening up and Disney's going to open and all, I think people are going to hold off and just say, hey, you know what? Let's just wait a little bit longer to make sure this thing isn't flaring up again, that we're all safe, and then we can get back out.
I completely agree with all that. I think the only gap we have, kind of your take and mine is, and I don't have the numbers, but for those other people that going to Disney World isn't flying from somewhere, they're not coming in from Nebraska or somewhere. For those people like me, I don't know how big that is. Obviously, it's gonna take years, I think, for things to get back to the level that they were, last summer. If you compare summers to summers, right? But that doesn't mean that there won't be demand relative to the supply that Disney's opening up, at that 25%. And that's what I'm curious to see is what, at that 25% cap, what is the locals demand? Does Disney World turn into more, and obviously, with 4 parks, it's different. It can't feed it. But, you said before, like Disneyland is a lot more locals and day trippers. That's what I think the flavor is going to be more with Disney World for the next 12 months is, probably, and I'm saying 12 months to kind of get through next summer. I think next summer things start to normalize, assuming, we've got vaccines and all that, and we're not going through this again. Yeah. But I think right now everybody's just, a lot of things are shaken from, and I think there's a lot of difference in, I'm not going to explain this well, so bear with me. My general gut feel is that a lot of things will change just because we've gotten out of the pattern of doing whatever that thing is. So as an example, business travel. I think, as businesses were going and like traveling, okay, now I got to fly here and we're going to fly that person there. And there's just sort of this continuity of because that's what we do. But then once everything stops and now it's almost like everybody has to make all the decisions again to say, do we need this travel? Like it's just, and I think that's a factor that's kind of going to make a lot of this come back slower is people kind of reassessing, do we need to have all the employees come back and work in an office? Do we need to, whatever the thing is, do we need to? I think that, because everything has had the big stop button pressed, then to kind of see what goes from there. But that's, for people that could just drive to Disney and spend a day or a weekend there, I just don't know what that level is. But it's going to take, I think it's going to take a long time for everything to come back, no doubt. But mainly I just want to know, can I get my pass or not? Can I get my reservation? That's what I'm curious to see.
I hope you can.
Well, and the other timing thing is one of my son's birthdays is in July, late July, and we typically go to Ohana's. Just became kind of like the birthday place we go, which is they're not buffet style; they're family style. Because my wife and I were talking about like what are the restaurants going to be open and what will they be changed and et cetera. So. And whether we'd go to a park that day for him. So, I don't know.
That's a...
But stuff like that. Those
well, the Polynesian's not going to be open then, probably.
Wait, I thought resorts were opening. No? Did I miss that?
DVC.
Just DVC? Oh, just DVC.
Just DVC. Oh. And Fort Wilderness.
Well, not open at all. Or...
Nope.
Oh. I'm gonna go tell the family.
Yeah,
well, I mean, I guess they could change it. But
as of now, so if they do open any resorts, more than odds are that they're going to open the deluxe resorts first.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But as of right now, no, the Polynesian has not. They don't have an opening date for the Polynesian yet.
Well then, okay. All right. Well, I don't know why I just assumed resorts were opening too, but I guess not.
No.
Okay.
No, just DVC.
For now. Nice little benefit for that.
For now.
Huh? Nice little benefit for that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I kind of threw that out and that's the one thing I got right. That's the one thing I got right was that they were going to open only DVC first.
That was on your bingo card.
I got that one right.
But I mean, it does make sense. There's a lot of foundational cost in running those resorts, those hotels, and so, I mean that you can't. What am I saying? That if you only have 10 or 20% capacity, you can't really scale the cost down to make that work. So it makes it so they might as well just keep them closed, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we'll talk at least one or two more times before we get to that point. We'll see what else comes up.
Yeah.
But Universal.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get back to some normal.
Oh, we're not having normal for quite some time.
I know.
But at least have like things happening there, right? It's been
yeah,
like
maybe that's what I'm trying to say.
No, I know. Just give you a hard time. All right. Well, then I'll see you next time.
Yep. Sounds good.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Starport 75. Follow Chris on Twitter and Instagram at CBGray, and Glenn on Twitter and Instagram at DizWiz. Follow the show on Twitter and Facebook at Starport75 and Instagram at TheStarport75. For all things related to the show, including show notes and links to connect with us, visit us at starport75.com.